Close your eyes for a second and picture this. You're looking into her eyes and you feel something shift. It's not just desire, it's total surrender. A level of trust she's never shown anyone before. You know what created that? It wasn't luck. It wasn't some memorized technique. It was something deeper, something most men haven't even begun to understand. The way you touch a woman tells her who you really are inside. And today, we're diving into a place most guys avoid: female oral intimacy and the entire psychological universe behind it. Because, my brother, this is way beyond physical pleasure. We're talking brain chemistry, masculine identity, and soul-level connection. That man she never forgets? The one who makes her sigh years after he's gone. He understood a secret most guys never will. Female pleasure starts in the mind, grows in the heart, and only then reaches the body. While most men are focused on performance, timing, getting the technique right, this man discovered something revolutionary. When you fully surrender to giving her pleasure, you're rewiring her brain to associate you with safety, care, and emotional need. And before we go further, I need to tell you something important. If you've been feeling like you lost part of your edge, your energy, your fire, that inner power that made you feel unstoppable, it might not just be mental. Sometimes your body is missing a fuel source you forgot to feed. Check the description. There's something there that could reignite a strength you forgot you had. But let's keep going. Here's the part neuroscience reveals, and it's going to blow your mind. During deep, present oral intimacy, a woman's brain releases two powerful chemicals: oxytocin and dopamine. Oxytocin creates emotional bonding. Dopamine programs healthy addiction. But here's the key detail. This only happens when she feels that you're not just going through the motions. You're there because you genuinely want to watch her melt with pleasure. That difference changes everything. It's the line between a mechanical act and a transformational experience. Think about it. Have you noticed how she acts differently afterward? Softer, closer, more yours? That's not random. That's neurobiology. A stoic man masters what he can control: his intention, his presence, his depth. A strategic man uses that mastery to build connection. He knows every moment of true pleasure he gives makes him more essential to her world. This isn't manipulation. This is emotional leadership, creating a space where she can fully let go, knowing she's in safe hands. Take a deep breath and imagine this. You're down there between her legs. No rush, no mental timer, just presence. Her eyes close. And for the first time in weeks, she doesn't have to think, doesn't have to control. She just gets to exist in pleasure. In that moment, you're not just her partner. You're her sanctuary, a space where she can be completely vulnerable without fear. And what does that awaken in her? Something primal, something deeply wired into her evolutionary instincts. Parental investment theory explains why this hits so deep. Women unconsciously evaluate a man's value based on his ability to invest time, energy, and attention. A man who spends 20, 30, 40 minutes solely focused on her pleasure is showing something rare: abundance. Abundance of time, energy, patience, generosity. Her primitive brain reads that as, this man has more than enough. He can protect. He can provide. He's worth trusting. And that, my friend, is irresistible on a level she can't even explain. Let's go even deeper, because this reveals something about you, too. The man who avoids oral intimacy out of laziness, hurry, or discomfort is often showing his own inner blocks. Fear of vulnerability, fear of losing control, fear of caring too much. Women sense this, even if they don't say it out loud. That emotional detachment builds a wall, a silence she can feel but can't explain. The result? She shuts down, protects herself, builds distance, But the man who dives into that moment, who makes her pleasure his temporary mission, he dissolves those walls. He barely has to say a word. Her body answers. Her soul opens up. I've seen men turn entire relationships around when they got this. Guys who were on the edge of breaking up, who reconnected on a level they didn't even know was possible. One told me, "Bro, she started looking at me differently. Not just in bed, everywhere. Like I had shown her a version of me she never knew existed." Another said, "It wasn't just about sex. She became softer, more open, like my real partner again." That's not luck. That's neuroassociation. Her brain linking you to safety, pleasure, and genuine care. Stoic philosophy doesn't shame pleasure. It teaches how to channel it with wisdom. When you direct your sexual energy toward your partner's pleasure, you're not shrinking. You're expanding. You're showing a strength few men possess, the courage to lead through surrender. Pleasure becomes a mirror. The more you give with authenticity, the more you receive. Not just physically, you gain respect, admiration, devotion. Women bond deeply with men who carry this kind of awakened awareness. And here's a truth no one talks about. The man who gives himself like this isn't being submissive. He's embodying the most refined form of masculinity, emotional leadership through generosity. He doesn't need to yell, dominate, or control. His power lies in creating a safe space where she can fall apart completely. And that, my brother, is power that goes far beyond the bedroom. It's a skill that shows up in how he talks, how he handles conflict, how he leads. You know what happens in relationships where the man develops this awareness? Sex becomes more frequent, more intense, more connected. Arguments decrease. Communication improves. She starts admiring him on a deeper level. He feels more like a man, more confident, more fulfilled. Because when you master the art of giving real pleasure, you master the art of being truly needed, not out of dependence, but out of conscious choice. If something in you is resonating right now, if you feel like there's a version of you that's more powerful, more present, more connected, just waiting to be awakened, maybe it's time to explore an energy that goes beyond brute strength, one that comes from within, that doesn't need external approval, but your own alignment with your masculine essence. Check the description of this video. There's something there waiting for you. An invitation, not just to restore your physical power, but to reclaim your emotional presence, your ability to lead through generosity. The man who understands these principles becomes unforgettable, not because he's perfect, but because he's real, present, generous with his energy. He creates moments that stay burned into her memory, not because of technique, but because of intention, of surrender, of the courage to fully give himself to her pleasure. And when a man like that touches a woman, she doesn't forget. She can't forget. Because he didn't just give her physical pleasure. He gave her an encounter with her own femininity. A safe, respectful, absolutely soul-shaking experience. When you start to feel like a true man again, she starts to feel like a true woman by your side. If this message hit something inside you, hit that like button. Drop a comment below with your biggest realization, and share this with a brother who needs to wake up to this truth today. I'll see you in the next one, with more courage, more truth, and more real connection.